afternoon to our CLA family members, clients, community partners, and friends. Welcome back to our live stream. We sincerely hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy at this time. Today is a very special day. You may not know why, but today is Nexia Day. CLA is an independent member of Nexia International, which is a top 10 global network of accounting firms. With over 265 firms in over 128 countries, Nexia member firms are focused on helping individuals and cross-border businesses grow and succeed. And you also may not know, but in 2020, CLA was honored to be recognized as Nexia Firm of the Year, which was super exciting. So we treasure and we celebrate our relationships with our Nexia member firms, and we really look forward to the worldwide celebration that's called Nexia Day, where we continue to strengthen our connections all around the world. So to celebrate and commemorate this day, I have two very special guests joining me. We have Stephanie Markert from our CLA Global Assurance team joining me, and we are really excited to have Ramiro Gonzalez with Gonzalez Espinosa y Asociados, which is one of our Nexia member firms joining us. So we are going to be discussing several global business topics today. So welcome to the two of you.
Thank you, Leslie. It's great to be here today. Very happy to be here. And on Nexia Day, right, Ramiro?
Yes, it is. Thank you for the invitation and for having me. Nexia Day is today.
Absolutely. So before we dive into our topics, I do have a couple housekeeping items that we want to cover. First of all, we do have the ability for live Q&A during our session today. In order to participate, you must register and log in using the link below me. Those questions will appear in the audience to like, and you can move those up then in priority so we can address those. We have moderators that are standing by and they are ready to engage and interact with you. We did also want to let you know of a special event that we have coming up on July 28th called Digital Transformation. What is it? Where are you? And what's next? So you can register for that event on our website. And then in addition to white papers, webinars, be on the lookout for articles and other items on our website. And as always, contact your CLA relationship because we absolutely want to talk to you. So with that, Stephanie, I want to start with you. You've been a big part of Nexia Day for several years, and I mentioned Nexia Day in the intro and that CLA is a member firm, but tell us a little bit more about Nexia Day, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, it's really a celebration. So we are a network, an association of 265 firms, and really it's a day that we can come together. And how important is that, after we've been through some of the issues this past year with the pandemic. So really to promote that togetherness and really to make sure that we honor that and we honor each other's cultures and celebrate each other. And so it's really that's kind of the textbook answer. If you look at Nexia, really the brand behind Nexia is really to be closer to you, which, sounds familiar with the CLA promise, to know you and to help you. So it is also, client driven to say, we are here to be closer to understand you. That's a textbook answer, to be honest. This is really an excuse to have fun. So we love to have fun on Nexia Day. We have competitions, we have videos. Romero thinks he's going to win. I don't think so, but we'll see. We have video competitions and things like that, just really to, again, bring some fun into the workplace. We all need a little fun and excitement this summer. And it's nice to see people back in the office together and promoting just their different services they offer to clients. And it's super exciting, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. We build, as far as CLA and Ramiro's firm, we build these strong relationships across all of these different countries and locations for a reason. And that really is to know our clients and to really be able to serve them and to put them in the right place And so being a part of Nexia Day always makes me smile, and to walk around the office. We always have some interesting food in the kitchen because we may have some special countries and representation here in the office that we like to share and celebrate as well. So that's really the story behind Nexia Day. And it really is a way to celebrate and honor each other across the world. So
I love that. And Ramiro, we are thrilled to have you with us today, and we would love to know a little bit about what does Nexia Day look like in Mexico?
Thank you. In Mexico, we are still in home office, so we prepared a video where a cameraman went to take some video and everyone or each of the team and how they work, how the cat is annoying the professional, how the children are screaming. So it's something that we want to show to the another companies that we are a good team, we are stronger than ever, and we are working for our clients pretty good.
Well, I love that. Again, it's all about just hearing and understanding what's going on in the world, and we love the connection that we have with you. Stephanie, one of the items that you talked about is just some of the seamless global services. And so I'd love to unpack that a little bit. What exactly do you mean when you say seamless global services or global seamless services?
Yeah, sure. Well, seamless, as we know, is really a process you see without gaps, right? And you can, it's smooth and it's continuous. And I think that the idea behind a global seamless service by using an association is that for the client, they get to experience and go through some of the complexities of organizing and strategizing and really running their business without some of the headaches and some of the complexities that they might encounter within different countries and different jurisdictions. So it's really giving the client a seamless experience where they don't, they have help and they're not going at it alone. I was sitting across from a client the other day, and he just looked at me and he was like, I just don't know what is going on in China with these particular invoices, for example. And, clients I see every day have anxiety because what they don't know, what they can't see, they may assume that is bad or wrong or just don't understand. And sometimes it just takes some help having someone boots on the ground in that local country to understand compliance rules, tax, regulation. Things get really complex. I mean, financial reporting, that's really my background. And that is, we operate in so many different regulatory environments across the country, across the world, that it really does get complex. And so providing that seamless service through an association like Nexia really helps to alleviate that anxiety with the client, and it makes them happy, right? And really it takes listening to the clients to understand where their pain points are. So then I can know to call Ramiro and say, my client is really eager to open up operations in Mexico, but has no idea where to start, right? And we do the same thing. I know you guys know Kirthi, and she's been on before, and she does the same thing for inbound coming into the United States. And so to have that contact and have that way to reach out to Ramiro and make those introductions really gives that peace of mind to our clients, and makes them smile, makes them, take a deep breath and can really move on with some of their other day-to-day operations. So that's really what I mean by seamless capabilities. That's really, there's so much that we can do for clients that, we'd have to have a lot more time to talk about all of this, all the different types of services. So.
Well, and I think that's good. And you gave a really good example, Stephanie. You talked about that we've got a lot of companies, right? And they may start just domestically, but more and more companies are looking at now an inbound or an outbound strategy, whether that's doing foreign direct investment here in the US, or perhaps they're looking at going and expanding outside of the US. And so talk to me a little bit more beyond just financial reporting, right? Because we can do that and we can absolutely help with that. But what else can we do in some seamless fashions, examples of that, about walking alongside these companies and helping with those?
Sure. We have within our Nexia Association, we have different groups. So we have a global expansion group specifically that will help a client determine, how to set up a bank account, how to get in touch with the best legal advisor for their particular business. Ramira, you probably could talk even more about some of the things that global expansion can help clients with when they're looking at expanding, because we do see that, Leslie. Obviously, growth is on everyone's mind, and it's become complicated to do that, right? In different countries and different jurisdictions. So having that extra, again, boots on the ground, I think is important. I don't know, Romero, do you have anything you might want to add in terms of global expansion and what you might see as services?
Yeah, sure. For example, when a client of CLA want to expand to Mexico, we have the option how to expand into Mexico, and then we set up the company, or we do a branch or whatever they need, and then we do some legal stuff, and we can do some tax stuff. So we help in every need the company of the client are looking for. So if not, it's not a entity, it could be a individual also. So all depends the U.S. company needs.
Yeah, I think that's great to understand. I know as we were even getting ready for this session, Jen, who is a frequent host of the live stream, mentioned that you are even helping a company that is expanding into Mexico look at what types of incentives might be available as well. And maybe you can comment on that too.
Yeah, all depends on the market that they are involved. For example, oil market or automotive market all have different incentives. So as you say, or Stephanie said, we walk along with the clients, also with the CLA professionist, to get a perfect or a successful plan.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think what it really just highlights and emphasizes here is just the importance of having that global team of advisors helping with the compliance, but also just knowing the geography, knowing that local jurisdiction, and knowing what we all don't know. I'd love to just kind of pivot this conversation a little bit and talk about some of these global business strategies that we're seeing now coming out of the pandemic. It sounds like we're in different spots. And I know Nexia Day this year is a little bit unique because it sounds like the US is in a little bit different spot than Ramiro you're in right now. And what you're seeing and hearing from companies and clients that you're serving. So Stephanie, what are you hearing from global companies that you're serving, and what's on their minds right now?
Well, I'll tell you, Leslie, what's on their minds is what's on our minds, to be honest. It's human resources. It's one of the bigger issues right now that we're seeing coming out, or still in the pandemic, and that is human resources. And I think that, it stresses a company out when they can't find people to do their normal day-to-day work. And so it takes your mind only has capacity for so much information, right? And so if your mind is really focused on that stress of not being able to process your invoices or pay your bills, just simply because you don't have the workforce there, then what are you doing for your strategy? How are you growing? How are you able to move into Mexico and do these other types of things? So I think some of our global clients are struggling just as much as a domestic client we would see in the U.S. And so there are ways that CLA and Ramiro's firm can step in from an outsourcing perspective and provide some of those human resource type of desire needs that the company might have. And so I think that is a human resource. I think keeping people up at night, keeping CEOs up at night to make sure that they're having the right people. I think too, personally, with the pandemic, we all saw a tremendous acceleration with technology. And so I think that a lot of companies are really struggling with balancing this increase in technology and be able to train their employees properly to use the technology or to have them in the right spots. I just use an example. In the automotive industry, we all are seeing a tremendous push towards electric vehicles, and we're seeing that increase, and we know that their software, their engineers that they have are not need to be upskilled, that's the if you guys know the terminology these days, and getting more trained in those areas that's very specialized and having to learn at a very faster rate to be able to produce so we can go and buy the electric vehicles and use them. So, it's all kind of, I see a lot of what's happened with the pandemic as an acceleration, and that's not all bad. I mean, I think that there are a lot of good things, obviously. And I don't think that upskilling is bad. I love to learn on a daily basis and make sure that I'm, up to par with things that are coming out. It's just a little harder to do when it's that fast and you have things going on. And again, if you're worried about some of the basic things, then, coming into an association or working with CLA to see kind of where your pain points are and can we get a fix for that so you can focus on some of these more complex areas in your business and excel. And so I think that is something I see personally with some of my conversations I have with clients and with opportunities that are coming into the door. I think that is pretty high top of mind. I don't know, Ramira, if you may see some different things or probably have some of the similar things, I would think with human resources.
Yeah, the same thing. All the companies have the same problems or the same issues, and they're looking for help in the bank statements or human resourcing, administration, accounting. They're all the same thing for everyone.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Leslie, another thing I just thought of is with cybersecurity. I mean, we are, sadly having to defend ourselves against the unknown, and usually the unknown are not that many people that can bring down a very large, organization. So I think, resources that companies, don't need to discount the resources that they use or that they have to spend towards that IT security type of things. And obviously, that's a complex area, and we certainly have services that can help with clients with that as well. And again, it's finding the pain points, and I think there are some that are obvious, and then some that are probably pretty specific to the industry and the company. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And I think, there's another huge change that's going on right now, and it's certainly going to affect global companies. And Stephanie, that I love to talk tax,
yes,
and I love to talk politics. And so
this is why I watch the live stream every week. So
right. So that's tax reform. And Ramiro, I don't know how much in Mexico you are watching the U.S. tax reform and thinking about that. It would be interesting, but I think for global companies, this is a big issue. Certainly, it's going to have a big impact. And the big question is when and then how much. And so what we're encouraging global companies to do is to get ahead of this now. Nobody has a crystal ball as to when the rates are going to go up. And then if they go up, will it be 28%, which is what everybody's campaigned on? Or are we going to negotiate, and will we land maybe somewhere between 21% and somewhere between 28%? What we are talking about, though, a lot is that it's a really good time to model that impact and really to start thinking about the impact of this on global sourcing, which is just another huge topic right now. There's a lot of proposals impacting the GILTI regime. And so GILTI thinks about if you have a subsidiary operation that's in a low tax jurisdiction, do you consider restructuring to avoid that impact? And in light of these proposals, are you thinking about maybe even onshoring or offshoring? And as you think about all of that, you really have to think about what are the after-tax costs of those decisions. So I think as we think about inbound and we think about outbound, it's thinking about that whole big picture. We never let the tax tail wag the dog, right? We have to make good business decisions, and those good business decisions have to be based in a lot of different factors. Your overall supply chain, right? What does that look like? What does the business environment look like? What do tariffs look like? What does trade and labor look like? What does the logistics whole pathway look like? And tax is also a big element of that because it's going to be a silent partner in every decision that we make, and it's not an insignificant cost to that. So certainly it's something that we are watching and we're thinking a lot about. And Ramiro, I would love to hear just the perspective that you all have on what's happening in the US with tax reform.
Okay, yeah. First of all, there is a tax treaty between Mexico and the US, and any operation that went to do between Mexico and the US, we had to review the tax treaty, and then second, the income tax law here in order to get the best advantage of it. So it depends on what kind of operation. So the first step is to review the treaty, and then the second is the local income tax law.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's awesome. Well,
I really like. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead, Stephanie.
No, I was just going to say I really liked how you put it in terms of understanding kind of what your end goal is and not making a decision just in one bucket, making sure you're looking at the overall picture in terms of what you want to do from an HR perspective, operations perspective, tax perspective, and getting to the best answer instead of just going straight for one versus the other. So that kind of clicked for me. So thank you, Leslie, for bringing up your tax and politics that you like to share on the live stream. So.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say this has been such a pleasure to celebrate Nexia Day with two of our global folks here. Stephanie, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you about what you're seeing with the US client base that you serve. Ramiro, we have had so much fun talking to another member firm that we work with, and it's just been a joy hearing what's going on in Mexico and what the differences have been and what you're dealing with. So I just want to say thank you so much to both of you. We want to also say thank you to our moderators who've been live with us for all of the engagement that they've had. And please register and continue to engage with us. We love having you be part of the conversation with us. We will see everybody in 2 weeks on August 5th. And until then, I encourage everybody to stay safe and healthy and watch the Olympics, which is another great way to celebrate Global and Nexia Day. So thank you so much.
Bye.